Hello, I'm back with another video. It will be the firmament in Hebrew part 2. Okay? But now I want to talk about a different word. The word I want to talk about now, it's divided. And why I want to talk about this word? Because the meaning of divided, it's like to divide. I have a pile of rice here, and I cut it in half, or not in half, or whatever, but I divide. I take some of the rice here, and some of the rice here, and I divide. In Hebrew, the word is vayavdil. But the problem is that vayavdil, it's not the same meaning, and it's not the right translation for divide. Or divide, it's not the right translation for vayavdil. Let's say, where's my glasses? Just a minute. And God made the firmament and divided the water which were under the firmament. And under, it's very important, and we'll get to it, and under the firmament from the water which were above the firmament. And the word is divide. In Hebrew it will be Vayas Elohim et harakia. We talked about the rakia. Vayavdil bein hamayim asher mitachat. Mitachat, it's under the rakia, from the water which above the rakia, and the word is vayavdil. And why it's so important to talk about these two words? Because I want to show you now what is the translation in English for the word vayavdil. Okay, get ready for it because it's mind-blowing. Are we beginning to get the point? Differentiated. That's how you say it? Differentiated. Okay, that's a translation for vayavdil. And why I think it's so important to understand this point is because when I think about it, God doesn't say anything about the atmosphere inside the firmament, inside the rakia. He doesn't say anything. God doesn't say how he do what he do, he just say what he do. Okay, and that's what he did. And when we look at the atmosphere, about the air we breathe, and how the atmosphere behave, and the particle it's made of, we can start to think that maybe God differentiated the water that under the firmament, because it's written down just chapter before that God placed the rakia in the midst of the water. So first he just placed it, and next he divide. Okay, but in Hebrew it's written vayavdil. So God put a different in the water, which under the firmament, under. I told you under will come later. And it's very important because he hivdil in the water that under the firmament. He puts a different in this water. You know. And when we think about it, it suddenly makes a lot of sense, you know, because air, hot air goes up, cold air goes down. We breathe the air. There is streams, wind. things happening in that air, and it's kind of water in a way. We breathe the air, but fishes breathe the water. Okay, all animals under the water breathe this water. So this translation, it's not the right translation, and it makes a lot of problem. I want just a minute. I want to show you something. In my last video, that was the firmament, but now I made it. I just fill it up with water, and I want to, like, let's say, give an example. Let's say that this is the firmament, okay? So first, God placed the firmament in the midst of the water. Okay, all very nice. The firmament is in the water, but what can you do with it? Okay. Now God put a different to the water, and that's how it looked like. Okay. If I'll dip it, we kind of get the right picture for what I'm talking about. Oof. All right. For example, before I get wet, I want to put it away. So God does not explain how He do things. He just say what He do. God. It's in a way. It's like we say. It's a light, and it just happens when something happens. It need to happen. It happens immediately. So actually, that's all I want to say in this video. It's a very nice thing to think about, I think. As I told you, I'm air conditioner, and when I fix the air condition, my mind is working, and suddenly what? He puts the firmament in the water, but in Hebrew it's vayavdil, and in English it's divide. And I say, woo, it's a problem. I have to check it out. That's what happened. Then I run home and check it out. And I think that's what's so nice about all these people that waking up now for the truth, that we can think about it and unlearn all this crap that stuck in our brain, and we unlearn it. We look at the moon and we say, oh, what's that? It's up here. I can see. I mean, it's just up here in the sky. It's in my sky. I see it now. I want to tell you, when I was a child, my grandma told me, you see the moon, you see this thing on the moon? That's a witch. There is a witch on the moon, and if you don't go to sleep in the night, the witch will come and eat you. And I was so scared. I was like, I couldn't sleep because of it, because I was so afraid of that witch on the moon, because I see that the moon is up here in my sky. I know it's there. I can see it. It's so close. But then you grow up, and then you don't sleep in the night, and you call your mommy and you tell her, "Mommy, I'm afraid of the witch in the moon." And then mommy tell you, or daddy, no, don't be afraid. The moon is out in space. It's so far away. No, it's a joke. It's not. And say, well, it's not far. Is it far? Yeah. Okay, so it's so far It's out in space. No, it's in the firmament. And children know it because they can see it. So, how did I go to this story? Never mind. And because that's the way it is, we are now realizing the truth about our creation. And thank you very much for watching. I hope I'll have some more ideas. And if someone wants to ask me a question about Hebrew and English and translation of the Bible, it's not a subject that I learn and I know so much, but there are people that know. So if someone wants to ask me questions, you're very welcome. And thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.